Yo, what's up, guys? Mike Red Fox. In this video, we're going to check out on Aleo. Like, how's the network hash rate doing with all the new mining machines coming on? How's the price doing? How am I doing with the machines that I am running right now on their potential break even? Let's check all of that out and more in this video. Let's start here. The network hash rate of Aleo is hitting new all-time highs. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody that's been paying attention to this space, but let's take a look and tell the story just a little bit. So Aleo hit its mainnet way back in late 2024, looking like September 2024. And then quickly, it was just all GPU mining. This is all GPU mining. Hit its high back then, which is almost 600 gigahash, and then has come down quite a bit. And then I think really in this period here, which is like the January, February period, what you see announcements from Goldshell and Ice River during this time where they are bringing on their first ASICs, so like small at-home ASICs, and Goldshell was the first to actually ship those and get them into customers' hands. And so what you would probably suspect to see when ASICs take over is just a huge jump in hash rate. But what we actually see here is like, I think, a trade-off of hash rate where you have GPUs turning off, mine included, and you have ASICs, small, those Goldshell ASICs kind of like trading places with the GPUs that are coming off, which is why you see this kind of like leveling out of hash rate across the network. At least that's what my speculation is. If you think different, let me know down in the comment section below. And then ultimately you get to like April time frame, and that's when you start seeing the Ice River AE zeros ship out, the Goldshell E-AE1M ship out, and now you're just talking like a ton of hash rate hitting the network until we get to this new all-time high, which we are now above 1 terahash, closing in on 1.2 terahash. And reminder that this is only with GPUs and I would argue just small home ASICs. So we haven't even hit big commercial industrial ASICs yet. So we are still, I think, in the absolute infancy of Aleo mining. Let's take a look at the Aleo price as of making this video. Is at 20 cents, which is kind of like the price it's been like stumbling around lately, like kind of like 30 cents high, 20 cents high. I mean, looking at like, what am I at? The last month right here, we're talking like little over 26 cents, 28 cents in the last month. And kind of like the low is where we're at right now, 21 cents. But if you look back that last year, I mean, the story is right there following the hash rate. In the net hash, we hit that all-time high of $6.50. I don't know if we'll ever get back to that again. And then just like we were looking at that hash rate on the network hash, it spiked there and then came down and kind of followed the price trend. But then what you see is this huge trend up on network hash rate, and the price is just absolutely not doing the same thing. It actually keeps going down. And that brings us to like what's going to happen from here. I don't know. I mean, there's going to be more and more mining machines that hit the network, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in this video. But for me personally, what I have running right now, you can see over on ZK Work. Let's give this a refresh here. I have 3 at-home ASICs running on Aleo right now. I do, side note, actually really like the project, and I believe in the project. Whether that means it will be successful and accomplish things in the end, I don't know, but I really do like what they are looking to do. So I do have some fundamental belief in the project personally. But these are the 3 ASICs that I'm running right now. So the first one that I got was the AE box from Goldshell, and that has done, you know, I think really well. And then I got the Goldshell Byte, small little cool at-home miner, lets you switch out cartridges to mine different algorithms. I think it's a great entry level into mining. I'll leave a link up to my video on that in the card above. And then most recently, as far as the most raw hash rate, I got the Goldshell Echo series, the E-AE1M. Again, video on that will be linked up in the card above, which has given me the most Aleo, more than the GPUs, more than any of these other miners, coming in at 2,700 Aleo so far. But I've made some decisions on what to do with that Aleo, so let's go take a look at the spreadsheet to see what decisions I have made. So we're going to start with the AE box, and I'll tell you my strategy here, and we'll just catch up on how I'm doing so far. So the AE box, I had the first payout back in March 11th of 2025, and as I'm making this video, we are May 22nd, 2025. So it's been, let's go take a look, 72 days since I've gotten this miner up and going, and I would have hypothetically paid $1,400 for it, but Gold Shell sent it over to me to make a video on. So I didn't pay anything, but I am very much racing on to paying back the income taxes I owe on that miner. But let's take a look. So my strategy on this, as you can see all the payouts here, is to sell half of the Aleo and hold half of the Aleo, and just get a sense of, like, in the end, would it have been better to sell the coin, hold the coin? Like, what is going to be better here? And so as we go through up into today, I got all of these different payouts here. And so what I have made in total with the current price of Aleo and the USD that I've sold, I've currently made $420. And if I held the Aleo and didn't sell it all, I would have made $397 is the current value of the Aleo that I had mined in totality. So it's better that I sold it, because I actually gained $23 by just selling half of it and holding half of it. So ultimately, it also would have been better just selling all of it at this point. But, you know, time will tell as we go into the future. But what I've been tracking is my percent to break even, which is right now on that miner. Again, if I spent $1,700 actually was the cost of this miner, didn't pay that. It was provided to me. But if you bought at the same time that I got one, it would have been $1,700, and you would be about 19% to break even right now. And that is considering a cost to run of about $100. I have in there a 16-cent electric rate, which is your cost to run. I don't pay that because I now have solar on my house, but I did pay that beforehand when I was running this miner, so I just left it the same. But total revenue is $420 right now on that AE box. And I think there's a lot of people that got this box before me. And if you're one of them, let me know down in the comment section where you're at, if you've been tracking break even, because you might have done okay on this, because this was the first Aleo miner to market that actually shipped to customers. Let's take a look at the more substantial E-AE1M that takes quite a bit of power, but also makes quite a bit of Aleo. And you can see I've been running this since April 26th. So we're currently at, let's see, 26 days only, less than a month. I've been running this, and it's given me 2,662 Aleo, which is great. But what I've decided to do with this one is to just sell it all into USDC as soon as I receive the payout over to Coinbase. But what I want you to pay attention to is what those payouts have come down to over time. Now, I started with 270 Aleo, 300 Aleo 2 days later, and then every 2 days I have gotten payouts, and it's just kind of come down and down and down. And then what you'll notice is, actually, I think this is the wrong date. Yep, my latest payout actually came yesterday, so we got to change that up. So it's actually now 3 days between payouts, which means the amount of Aleo that I'm generating is just so much less, which is absolutely expected considering the network hash rate and the competition that's out there. So I am not surprised, saw this come in, and so far where I am at is that I have a total of $604.92 that I have sold, which net revenue, again, considering the 16-cent electric kilowatt hour for electric hypothetical that I was once paying, but I'm not now, means that I'm only 12% break even on this miner, because it cost $3,409 when I received it. It definitely does not cost that now, but when I received it, that is what it costs. So that's where I'm at currently. I'm not tracking the gold shell bite. It's just probably not worth my time. But let's take a look over on miningnow.com just on the current state of Aleo mining and how all the mining machines are doing. We'll start with the ones that I have. So I have that gold shell bite, 5.5 mega hash per second. Not a lot, and it's doing currently 13 cents in profit per day on a 10-cent electric rate. The next miner that I have is the Gold Shell AE box, which has come down quite a bit, only making $1.12 a day in profit. So I have quite a ways to go to get to break even on that miner with that profitability coming down so far. And then next up after that is the Gold Shell E-AE1M. making $7.57 a day, very far down from like the $35 in profit a day it was making when I received it. So again, that break even is just getting pushed further and further away unless the price of Aleo just goes up dramatically to take in the influx of mining machines that are coming on and will continue to come onto that network, where you're going to see that network hash rate just continue to rise. So aside from that, the other miners that are on here, you can see the top performing one is the Ice River AE1 Lite, which rumor is shipping, getting into customers' hands so they can turn on and get mining. Again, more competition on the network. That network hash rate is going to continue to rise. But that is currently making almost $15 a day. Then the other Ice River that is in a lot of people's hands, especially on YouTube, is the Ice River Aleo AE0, which is now down to about $3 a day. And I think a lot of these have hung on for much longer than we all expected, though the profitability is definitely coming down pretty substantially. But I just want to drive this point home. I talk about it in every video. What you want to pay attention to here is the Ice River versus Gold Shell. So look at this efficiency scale. The Ice River efficiency just completely destroys anything that Gold Shell has, where the AE0 and the AE1 Lite are just so much more efficient than Gold Shell, which means they're going to hang on longer. They're just going to get more hash rate for less power. The ones I want to compare, if you look at the AE1 Lite, is doing 300 mega hash for 500 watts versus the AE Max is 360 mega hash per second for 3,300 watts. It's just ridiculous how much more efficient the Ice River AE1 Lite is going to be. And what's going to happen here is they're going to get even more efficient. Bitmain will have even more efficient miners, kicking Gold Shell and anybody with those first generation Aleo chips completely out of the game. What's going to happen to the price? I don't know. What's going to happen to the project? I don't know. I do actually really like Aleo. Fundamentally, I think it's solving a problem that actually exists. But you also have just the game of mining, and is it better to just buy the coin or to buy a miner to mine the coin? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I'd love to hear from you. If you're bullish on Aleo, have you bought Aleo, mined Aleo? Do you have any of these miners? Did you get any of these very early on? Have you been tracking break even? Let me know down in the comment section below. But if you want to check out any of these miners that I've done videos on with Aleo, I'll have a link on the screen right here. But otherwise, please take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.